Some stories begin with love, others begin with loss. But Juliana's story began on the night she turned 20, when the people who were supposed to love her abandoned her, and the stranger she insulted at a restaurant would become the man who could either save her or destroy the darkness coming her way. And all of it started with a phone call that shattered her heart. The restaurant Christy rented shimmered with gold lights and birthday candles. Juliana sat alone at a table set for four, waiting for her father, her stepmother, and her stepsister. She finally dialed her father. His voice cut through her like a blade. Why are you calling me? Haven't I warned you never to remind me of the day you came into this world? Your
No,
birth
that
killed your
can't
mother.
be
I'm
true.
abroad with your sister. She deserves joy. You don't.
Tell me it's
Go
not
home
true.
and never mention this cursed day again. The line died. The candles flickered. The music slowed. Juliana tried to keep her tears inside as she stood up, head lowered, and walked straight into a tall man. His phone fell and shattered. He bent to pick it up, but before he spoke, Juliana exploded. Is your head empty, or you just enjoy blocking people's way? Must you grow tall and still be clueless? Next time, glue your eyes to your skull instead of your phone. The entire restaurant fell silent. The man blinked, stunned by the venom of her words. He didn't argue. He simply picked up the pieces of his phone and told an assistant standing nearby, Daniel, replace it. Juliana stormed out. She didn't know she had just insulted the man who would soon rewrite her fate. She returned home to cold silence, to halls that had never felt like hers. That night she cried herself to sleep, deep shaking sobs that no one heard. Monday arrived. Christy wrapped her arms around her the moment she saw her. Julie, no one deserves the kind of treatment your family gives you. But listen, one day someone will love you the way you deserve. Before Juliana could reply, the department released a memo. New physiology lecturer resumes today. Course rep must deliver the files. Juliana sighed and went. She knocked softly. A cold voice answered, Enter. She stepped inside. Both froze. You? They exclaimed in unison. It was him, the man from the restaurant, Mr. Richmond. His expression sharpened. Drop the files and leave. She obeyed quickly, unable to speak. She didn't know he was more dangerous than he looked. No one knew. Their philosophy test results came out. Christy, who copied every line from Juliana, got an A. Juliana got a C. It didn't make sense. Julie, what is happening? Christy demanded. Are you distracted? Is someone messing with you? Juliana sighed deeply. I think it's Mr. Richmond. He must still be angry about the restaurant incident. Then you have to apologize, Christy insisted. Fix this before it ruins your GPA. She knocked on his office door. He barely looked up. I hope you're not here to waste my time. I came to contest. Get out. No, she said quietly. He finally stared at her. I'm sorry, she whispered. I spoke to you rudely. I was hurting that day, and apology not accepted, he said coldly. If you want to apologize properly, come here. He tossed a small paper across the table, a location scribbled on it. She picked it up and left in silence. That evening, she returned home only to find her father already angry. What is this nonsense? He barked, waving a test result he must have hacked from her phone. Before she could reply, he thundered, You seduced the old lecturer for grades, didn't you? Now he's gone and your real stupidity is showing. Dad, that's not. His palm struck her face so hard she staggered. I will not feed a useless child. Pack your things and leave my house tonight. He didn't even wait for her to speak. He stormed out while the stepmother watched, satisfied. The stepsister smirked as Juliana climbed the stairs to park. She didn't beg. She didn't cry this time. She simply left the house she had never been welcomed in. Homeless and exhausted, she wondered where to go. Christie's house was gone. Bank repossession. Hotel impossible. Street dangerous. Then she remembered the address Mr. Richmond gave her. It became her only option. She walked there. His gate opened. He saw her bags. He saw her tired eyes. His face hardened instantly. Leave. Her voice trembled. Can I at least sit by the gate just for tonight? No. He shut the door. Rain began to fall heavily. Juliana sat on her suitcase, drenched, hugging herself, trying not to cry. Inside, Mr. Richmond froze. Rain? His worst nightmare. It always dragged him back to the night his beloved died in his arms under a storm. He could never stand the sound of rain. But tonight, the rain pulled him outside instead of trapping him inside. He saw her trembling. His chest tightened. Something old, something buried, something dangerous stirring inside him. Without a word, he walked to her and held an umbrella over her head. She looked up slowly. Come inside, he said softly, just for tonight. The next morning, he let her eat. Then he told her she would need to leave soon. But when she stepped outside, something deep in him tightened. She looked too lost, too fragile. So he followed her from a distance. He wanted to be sure she was safe, but what he found was worse than he expected. Her ex lecturer, the new one who replaced the old retired professor, cornered her near a quiet hallway. He was smiling too widely, too eagerly. Juliana, reconsider my offer. You're too beautiful to be struggling for grades. A little favor in my office, and I'll give you straight A's. She stepped back. No. His smile faded into a sneer. Then I might release the photos. What photos? He held up his phone. Edited photos of her and Mr. Richmond in intimate positions. All fake. I'll send these to the school board and your father. You'll be expelled. Homeless. Hopeless. Think wisely. Before Juliana could respond, a deep voice growled behind them. Send the photos. I dare you. The lecturer froze. Mr. Richmond stepped out of the shadows. His eyes were no longer the eyes of a lecturer. They were cold, sharp, deadly. The eyes of a man who had once been fed. Juliana, he said quietly, go home. She obeyed. She didn't see him grab the lecturer by the collar, didn't see the car that pulled up silently, didn't see the terrified man shoved inside. But the city did not see that lecturer again. Mr. Richmond dealt with him the way men from his former life dealt with problems. He kidnapped him, beat him until he begged for mercy, then gave him one final warning. Leave this school. Leave this city. If I see you again, you won't walk out alive. The man fled that same night. Mr. Richmond washed his bruised knuckles in silence. He had tried to bury this side of him. But Juliana awakened the instinct to protect, even if it meant becoming a monster again. Living with him for safety felt strange at first. He was strict. She was emotional. He hated rain. She feared anger. Yet they slowly softened toward each other. She learned his wife died in a storm, that he had once been part of a mafia family but walked away for love. He learned she had never been loved at all. Night after night, pain met pain, and healing began. His mother returned from abroad, furious. You're falling for a girl with a broken background. After all you've built? Juliana overheard. She packed her bags quietly, ready to leave. Mr. Richmond stopped her at the door. You're not going anywhere. She doesn't want me here, but I do. He took her hands. I lost myself when my wife died, but with you, I can breathe again. I can live again. I won't let anyone take that from me. She broke down in his arms. Madame Eve, the housekeeper, who had been with them while Mr. Richmond was still a teenager, who had seen him got married, and also saw what the death of his wife did to him, walked to his mother and pleaded with her to let them be. From what she told her, she could also see that Juliana brought her son back to life. One night it rained heavily. Juliana found him sitting on the floor, shaking, hands over his ears. Old trauma, old grief. She knelt beside him and held him gently. I'm here. You're safe. For the first time, he let someone hold him through the rain. He whispered into her shoulder, I love you more than you know. She pressed her forehead to his, and I love you too. The rain outside softened, as if bowing to the healing. Juliana graduated top of her class. Mr. Richmond resigned from the school, opened a private academy, and made her his partner. Christy recovered from her family struggles and became a permanent part of their lives. Years later, on a cloudy afternoon, a gentle drizzle began to fall as Juliana walked down the aisle. He looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. When the rain touched her cheeks, she laughed, and he held her hand tightly, no longer afraid. Together, they created a new meaning for what rain symbolized: a blessing, a beginning, a rebirth. Moral lessons. Love can come from the most unexpected places, even from someone you once insulted. Family is not defined by blood, but by who stands beside you. Trauma takes time to heal, but the right person can make the storms less frightening. Never let someone else decide your worth. Your story is yours to rewrite. Sometimes the heartbreak that breaks you becomes the doorway to a love that rebuilds you. And that would be all for today. If you enjoyed this story, please give us a like, comment the part that you found interesting, and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when more amazing stories come your way.